is. I'm with sports guru, worked in sports for all of his adult life, Trae Holthouse. He has a lot of great opinions. He's from Arkansas, as you will tell by his accent. We won't hold it against him. He's been on the podcast before. Great NBA head. And before we start talking winners and losers of the NBA offseason, the last week, we'll say, with the NBA draft, the plethora of free agent signings that have happened. Trae, do you want to take this moment to apologize to Canada for your takes on their soccer team as USA gets knocked out by Bolivia and Paraguay?
Absolutely not.
Panama?
You scored one goal. That's
So
pretty
did
sad
France.
to get out of great play.
France
Yeah,
did the same thing.
But they've won a World Cup. Come on now. It's a little low-key ridiculous.
We're North American.
Y'all are very
France.
lucky. You told me you enjoyed watching all your games.
Yeah, I loved it.
See if one goal scored.
The heart that Canada plays with is unparalleled. I wish the USA had that kind of heart. You guys would make it to the next level, but you're just
maybe one day. We got to take lessons from y'all on how to win, like medals and all that stuff that y'all dominated.
Exactly. Just participant stuff, which just makes us happy.
Yeah, I don't think y'all won anything since y'all speed runner in '88 that was on steroids.
Yeah. No, after him too. Landon Donovan was a legend.
Fair.
So, winners and losers. We're going to just do a kind of a draft where Trae go back and forth of who we think. You can choose whatever the biggest is, whether it's the biggest winner or the biggest loser, and we'll just talk about it because so much has happened.
Yes, it has.
Do you want to go first, Trae? Who's your biggest winner or loser?
You guys say the biggest winners are Thunder. I mean, they got two great role players added to that team already with stars. It's just will Williams take that next step is the big question. I don't know how he disappeared in the playoffs. He didn't play any big-time college basketball, so I don't know if he was really ready for that moment.
Yeah.
But if he could develop more, I mean, that team's stacked. You get two guys in there that are just good, like, glue guys that play hard with Hartenstein and Caruso. They're going to be tough next year.
Yeah.
They need injuries.
Who do you think the starting lineup will be? Because we've got SGA, obviously.
Yeah.
Chet, Hartenstein, Steen, whatever.
Williams.
And then it's just Dort or Caruso?
Yeah. Dang.
Or does Williams leave? Does Dort stay and Williams is out and Caruso takes his spot?
No. You got Dort. I think Caruso comes off the bench.
Yeah.
And Dort starts. Dort's been there longer. So you got to go with him, and Caruso, that energy off the bench is what seems like would work best. But, I mean, hell, they can jump it around based off matchups and throw two dogs in there with Caruso and Dort on defense. So
yeah, and Cason Wallace can come around. He's nice.
Mm-hmm. And they got $1 million draft picks to make a trade at the deadline. So they get another player in there maybe.
Yeah, as long as they don't have injuries, which, I mean, we've seen this whole NBA second half of the season, half the league got injured. So anything can happen.
My team, story of their season last year with the Memphis Grizzlies. So I get it.
That's I don't like the one thing they took Nikola Topic in the draft only because while they can wait, I'm Canadian, everyone, as you probably know. SGA, he's in win now. You know, he's got a big window still left. But I wish they took someone like I didn't watch a ton of college basketball. I'm not an expert, so it's like Dalton Knecht or someone who can play right away versus Topic is out for a year for sure. Then you probably adjust.
He's a guy.
Bit.
He's the one with the witness protection voice, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty, yeah.
And he tore his ACL or whatever, so he's going to redshirt basically next year, so won't play.
Yeah.
Which, Presti, who's the owner of the Oklahoma?
I couldn't tell you who the owner of Oklahoma is.
Why do I think it's Sam Presti?
Presti runs everything. No, he's the GM. He's slow playing it, though.
They love to slow play. Like, they've got all these draft picks and all these – as we've learned, it's like the window isn't that big. You need to go after it now. You can't be like, oh, we got draft picks for later. And it's almost like he's building like a real estate company versus an NBA team that needs to win right away. You know?
Agree. Like 2 years ago, he slow played it when they could have maybe gotten the playoffs, snuck in, but he didn't make a trade at the deadline, just kind of wanted the guys to develop, which could, I guess, pay off in the long run.
Yeah.
But they scare me in the West.
Oh, yeah. I mean, a lot of people have them first now, and I hope they are, but until they do it, I mean, you can't really crown
them. They were first last year, though. So
exactly.
I mean, no one picked them first, but they were first.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited. There's so many with Canada and the exciting players. I have so many games I want to watch next year, which we'll get to other teams, but it's going to be good. I'm going to say I'm going to zag. I'm going to do a biggest loser, and it's a weird one, but stay with me. We kind of texted about it. The biggest loser is the Denver Nuggets, and I only say this. I love the Nuggets. Joker's the best talent in the NBA, arguably. Probably is. I think he is. But they went from untouchable. Like last year and the year before, they were the number one team. Hands down, they're going to win every year, been in the finals every year, everything. And now they're just almost another team. Like they're not. They're still good, but it's not head and shoulders. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They lost Bruce Brown and KCP. And those are valuable pieces.
They better hope the other Brown is ready to step up and play for
White
Kansas.
Brown.
Yeah, White Brown. They spelled his name. It looks like Braun. Yeah, whatever. But,
the shaver. I think they call him the shaver.
Yeah.
I'm with you now.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, they might be able to get Bruce Brown back. I mean, he's on the last year of his deal and he's getting traded everywhere, so maybe that's in their cards in play.
Yeah, they need to make a move just because they stayed stagnant. And sure, they easily should have and could have won, when they lost in Game 7 to the Timberwolves. But I don't know. I just think everyone else is doing stuff. And they're not. There's talk they're going to get Westbrook, which is nice off the bench.
I saw that, yeah. Bring the energy. They need that. I feel like they got a little lazy last year because they were champs. And
and they are he will be cheap. I heard he's something like, I don't understand how, but $4 million or something stupid, like low.
Yeah. That's his contract he bought in because he's not going to get anything else, I don't think.
Yeah.
But you think got to be a bigger loser. Who's the biggest loser in your mind?
Biggest loser. Another person I love.
Who's had the worst offseason ever so far?
The
Lakers. The Lakers.
Oh, okay, all right.
They got nobody.
Yeah,
nobody.
That's true.
LeBron's having to take a pay cut to get Klay or Valanciunas in, and all of them signed with different teams.
Oh, yeah. And there's
their big pickups.
Good, right?
There's still – there are some guys out there, I think, still. I mean, Zach LaVine, if you trade for him, but I wouldn't. And DeMar DeRozan, I guess. He's an L.A. guy. They remember him always going back there. So maybe they're hoping they get DeMar.
Do they have stuff they can trade? I guess they could trade.
No, I don't think. They have like one draft pick left, don't they?
Exactly. Like, what are they going to give up? The point guard. I guess they could trade.
Austin Reeves.
I think they'll keep him. They love him.
Yeah. I don't know who else. They don't have any trade value. Anthony Davis, that's the only trade value they have left.
Yeah.
And if you trade him, you're still the same. I just don't see an out for them. I don't understand what they're doing.
No.
It's interesting choices. Bronny James, I guess. There they go.
He'll take him to the ship.
He's getting a guaranteed contract, the second-round pick already.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I guess that money's supposed to go to his dad. It's going to him.
I've heard LeBron is just like not packing it in, but he's kind of being like, now I care more about family, kind of playing that, which is like a nice political, I don't care about winning as much. Now I just want the next generation. And
it will be cool to see him play with his son, though, because it'll never happen again.
Yeah.
What father-son do it.
What's the other son's name with the glasses?
I do not remember his name, but he's probably going to be better than Bronny. He looks more like LeBron body size.
I thought, he looks great. And then he was saying that he's like, no, I'm not going to play with my dad. My dad will be 42 by the time I get drafted. I'm like, I don't know. If anyone can play to 42.
Could be LeBron.
He's 38 now or 39?
39, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's because, he literally was the best player in the playoffs in the first round. I thought he was on some sort of drug. Did you not? I was like, what? When he went full, the last game 6, I think it was, blocked shot, went down shot, and I was like, what? I want whatever LeBron has.
But that gas tank runs out 2 years ago in the playoffs when he carried him the first half and he was dead. No one else showed up against the Nuggets. So,
but I think if he can do that still, you can't tell me he's not like Karl Malone in it at age 42, just power forward, passes, gets 10, 10, and 5 or something if he's open to it, which I think he might be, right?
Yeah, you got to think so. He knows he can't go that hard all the time. That's why he needs help, and they aren't getting any.
No.
So
that'll be interesting.
I think them and the Warriors are not playoff teams.
That was my next biggest loser. My next biggest loser was Steph Curry. Poor Steph. Everyone loves Steph Curry. Unless,
If you don't like Curry, or something wrong with you, man.
Oh, that's just – I feel so bad for him. They've got nowhere to go either.
No. They're going to do the Kobe thing, just ride out to the sunset with him, and people just kind of parade him around and enjoy watching him and win 20 games a year.
I think he's still got a couple more years of, like, legit elite level left, you know?
Yeah, but there's no one there.
No. I think they got to blow it up and just get rid of Draymond now.
What's Draymond?
Yeah, but, like, his money. I mean, like, just –
Oh, yeah.
Get rid of his money and just open up. I mean, again, if everyone doesn't know my dog, his name was Wiggins. No one loves Wiggins more than me. Wiggins is not good anymore. Wiggins, I feel so bad for him. Whatever happened to him where he quit basketball for a while, I think he's never really liked basketball. Like, never loved it. He just does it because he's good at it. You know, he's like, he doesn't have the passion. He doesn't have – sometimes he does, and he's great, but he just never has had –
is he going to play for Canada or not? Or they say he's not?
Yeah, they say he's not because the Warriors like cock blocked him. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. That was weird. I've heard back and forth a lot on that story on what's going on with it. So
yeah, for anyone's not familiar, so the Warriors are wanting to trade Wiggins potentially, but this was also before Klay left and other good players got signed and traded. So I think he could have been in a Klay some sort of trade, but apparently the Warriors won't let him play for Canada while they're trying to trade him aggressively. They're in aggressive trade talks. But now all this shit's happened. I don't know if there's anyone else left they can trade for.
I don't know. I just know Team Canada without Wiggins, man, it's going to be tough in that 5th, 6th place game y'all are in this year in the Olympics. What are y'all going to do about that? Huh?
We're fine without Wiggins. Our team has the 3rd best player in the league, maybe the 2nd best player in the league, Jamal Murray. We're packed. We're absolutely
Dylan
stacked.
Brooks, I mean, he's clutch. I love him.
He is. He's an animal. He's a beast.
Yeah.
We also will be doing an Olympic basketball podcast for anyone. Train will be going.
Can't wait for that one. They can just be our text messages back and forth during the game.
Exactly. Just put a transcript out. I think they just got to blow it up and like Draymond gone. Oh yeah, so Wiggins. And the crazy thing about Wiggins, his contract actually isn't as crazy now. Like 2 years ago, it was insane. It was like a max deal.
Yeah. The contracts get better every year with the money coming in.
Because he wasn't tradable last year because it was like a max contract. He would have had to have the best player from another team.
Yeah, and who's going to trade for Wiggins unless is that exactly. You want Zach LaVine?
Yeah. So
you have to get a player like that.
I think it may be something like that. But I guess Zach and Trae can't really play with Curry. You need size now, like a wing. You need a Wiggins. Like essentially, his size and length is what.
Yeah.
If
you need NBA Finals, Wiggins.
Mm-hmm. The 2nd best player in the league at that time, Wiggins, for 10 days.
For sure, dominated.
But I don't know what they do. I feel bad for Steph. I hope that they just get rid of Draymond. I also a loser. Klay Thompson. I've always been out on Klay Thompson. This could be a whole separate podcast. I think he went to the best place he could go to, actually. So that is the Mavericks are a great location. I wish he went to like a shittier team, but I think he would.
But if
go ahead, well, Trae.
He's washed.
Yeah.
So what's it matter where he plays? People were like, LeBron wanted to get him for the Lakers. Like, what is that going to help y'all?
No.
Klay can't play anymore.
No, like
the Mavs are not going to help. I mean,
their defense is going to be terrible. With like he's washed on D, he can still kind of shoot threes. It's nice because he can shoot open threes in the corner, which they really lost in the NBA Finals.
You hope he's a good team player and brings leadership, but he hadn't done that with the Warriors because he was bitter at the end of the past 2 years and just kind of just that oddball, like just weird vibes he put out in the Warriors all last season. So.
Yeah, and there's a report I read yesterday or today, maybe it was this morning, that like he was as much of a cancer as Draymond. You just didn't see it. I guess
he's seen that way. Yeah,
pouting, just I need this, I need that. My hot take is I think I think Klay Thompson is the most overrated player in our current league. I think, and stay with me, Klay Thompson would not be good or be who he is now if he was on any other team. Like you put him, Steph Curry gets double teamed, passes to a wide open Klay hits a three. He doesn't create his own shot really, or never did. It's always spot up.
That dude dropped like 60 in 3 quarters though. He's getting his own shot somehow, or I mean, Grayson Allen would be dropping those numbers, and
But do you
Jeff
think
Hornacek back in the day.
You know, like players like with Tom Brady, they just got better because like he gave them that confidence. He created so much for them.
Opened it, yeah.
I think if Steph wasn't there to create him, he would be just another shooter. You know, a Grayson Allen, whoever it is, 3-and-D, not the Klay that's people think is an amazing guy, one of the best shooters of all time. Blah 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 blah. So
yeah.
I
get it. I mean, it makes a little bit of sense, though.
Yeah, a little bit.
If he was Canadian, he'd be the greatest player ever. So
100%. He's the greatest shooter in the history of the world, greatest athlete on earth,
for sure.
A winner, or do you want to go? I'm taking the last couple, but there's a big winner.
All right, winner for me, just the Grizzlies being healthy next season. I think they're going to be hungry, ready to prove everyone wrong. No one talks about Ja anymore. No one talks about that team anymore. Even though I am a diehard Grizzly fan, I think this team is going to be competing for the 1 or 2 seed in the Western Conference next year.
And they had the best
pick if everyone stays healthy.
Yeah.
You're pumped on Zach Edey.
Best pick in the draft, Zach Edey.
Even though he's not playing for Team Canada this Olympics. But I like why. He's going to get summer league reps with the Grizzlies and learn their system. So I'm all in on the Grizzlies now. They can't have that bad of injury luck. Like usually the rule is bad injury luck one year, it turns over the next year. And vice versa. With teams that are super healthy, bad stuff happens. So,
and I think as an NBA fan, Ja, like, the world is a better place when Ja's playing. Like, I don't even care if you don't like the Grizzlies. It's like having Ja is the greatest thing on earth.
Agreed. And, Ja's got to be able to prove something this year because I don't hear any podcasters anywhere, anyone talking about Ja anymore as being even a top-tier player. So that has to hopefully drive him to want to take some souls this NBA season.
Yeah, an app I always wanted. They did it in Europe at one point, but it's like a fantasy app, but where you can invest in players. It's basically the stock market. I think there's still something out there, but they need that in the U.S. Like
I never heard of that. Yeah,
I've had this idea.
Stock market players.
And so it's like you can buy, I don't know, like a 14-year-old. You buy stock in him, and like as he goes up, and you can sell it. Yeah, just the stock market.
Boy,
like
that stock in Ja would have been at all-time low, that strip club in Denver. Could have got that on pennies on the dollar.
I want the Ja stock. I'm all in on Ja stock.
Yeah.
And I think if Edey does get decent playing time, I mean, a little pick, and then if he misses a layup, Edey's there with no one around him to just finish it off. And, you know? Yeah.
They're still going to try to sign some role players, I think. That Smith from the Pacers as a backup center maybe, or just split time with Edey. We'll see what happens with that. But they got to get another big down there.
Yeah, they have a lot of stock. Don't they have like money to spend? Not a lot, but it's not like they're like tight, right?
Yeah. No, they should have money to spend, but I mean, they got to re-sign up Triple J, Bane. So they got to. I guess Bane did just sign up, but it's got to lock in those players.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm very optimistic for this season. I think it should be good for at least regular season.
Yeah, the West is so good.
The West is very good. That's why I think Lakers and Warriors are toast. They're too old.
Yeah, we're going to do another podcast, too, of just our rankings of teams and, like, best bets, I think. But because I would put the Lakers and the Warriors, like, where they were this year, 9th in the West, fighting for a play-in spot.
Playing for, yeah.
And now you've got Jaws taking a step up. Also, I'm sure the Spurs could take a step up.
I think they're still a little bit away, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
They're still out of that same still the struggle. I don't think they'll be in the play-in fighting yet. But, the Grizzlies weren't even up there last year. That's another team to knock one of them out. The Rockets will be coming up.
Yeah, I love the Rockets.
With all the moves they've made. So, it's going to be tough to get in next year for those two teams.
Yeah, a big winner, the Sixers. Well, and I asterisk big winner because I just can't trust. There's players you can't trust, which we all know, like Harden, Embiid. Who else would you put in this? Is there like a term that we could use, or who's an old player that like you could never trust? And it was just, I wonder.
Karl Malone always flamed out in the playoffs, didn't he? Back in the day.
Maybe, yeah, I think so. He was against Jordan, to be fair, but yeah, I agree.
In the playoffs.
Yeah,
so I feel like he never showed up in the playoffs.
The Malone players, Embiid always hurt, never there, never plays. James
disappears
Harden.
In the playoffs.
Yeah.
James Harden disappears in the playoffs.
I think it's like those two players specifically. It's like the Miami Dolphins. Like in the regular season, no one really game plans hard because it's week to week. You're going one after another. But once it really matters, and the coaches have like time to be like, all right, now we know all we have to do is beat the Dolphins. Let's game plan for them. Let's rough them up. Let's do all the stuff that you can easily beat them with. Same thing with Harden. Same thing with Embiid. Because Harden can just get his points when no one is carrying, like no one cares.
But Paul George also, they thought he'd play off ball, and he didn't show up a lot. He had some good games, these past couple years for the Clippers, but for the most part, he didn't show up in the playoffs either. So it'll be – I'd like to see how those three work out with Maxey, Embiid, and Paul George. And Paul George never played in a market like this either before. That's like cutthroat, diehard market. I mean, played in Indiana, Oklahoma, and then Clippers that no one cares about out in L.A. It's a Lakers town. So
yeah, I agree.
They have a lot of Philly. Yeah,
he was like
I think
best
so.
Best option they could get, but it's also like a tough. I don't know.
Yeah,
I hope he stays healthy. Like,
well, I heard
just as a fan, he stays healthy and Embiid stays healthy. Because I mean, as a fan, I guess they would potentially be second, third in the East.
Yeah, I mean they were on pace to be number one in the East this year until Embiid went down, and they just turned awful. So I mean, but that's just. I think Embiid's a regular season guy. I don't think he's a playoff guy.
Yeah,
he's yet to prove. He made a conference finals.
I know it. Which I mean, Tatum was kind of he had some good games, but I feel like sometimes you're never a playoff guy until you are. So I mean, getting over that hump, I feel like is so awful. It's so hard.
I still don't think Tatum's a playoff guy.
Yeah, I agree.
He's all right. Yeah. He didn't impress me that much. That team's just stacked.
Exactly.
Derek White's the glue.
He's the glue. No, what's his name? Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday too, but Derek White does it all.
Yeah.
Derek White with the offense. I love Derek White.
It's crazy that he has the most blocks. Like he's like a block specialist.
Yeah. He does it all, man. Does it all.
What do you think? Did you have another winner or loser?
I mean, anybody that signs Tobias Harris, in my opinion, is a loser, and that's the Pistons. I don't know what they're doing. They paid their coach all that money to go. That franchise is dumpster fire right now. Yeah, and I can't believe you give Tobias Harris $60 million. Like, if I come back, if there's ever such thing as coming back in a second life, I want Tobias Harris's life.
Yeah.
No stress, no pressure, millions and millions of dollars.
Him and Kirk Cousins just taking money over and over and over.
At least Kirk Cousins taking hits, though. Tobias just disappears. I forgot he played in some of these playoff games this year. Yeah. I'd look up and see him shaking hands. I'm like, oh, dang, Tobias Harris? Let me check the stats, see if he played. He played 40 minutes. I'm like, sweet. Worth it.
It is weird how awful he was.
Him and Towns are my least two favorite people to watch play basketball, hands down.
That's fair. Yeah, not much effort.
Yeah.
And also the segue, the biggest winner is Monty Williams, who just gets checks and gets fired.
You know what? I want to be him in my next life, Monty Williams. That's even better.
Yeah, you don't even have to play.
I don't even got to work out. Let's just hang out, get paid.
1 year and then
that was an awful
money.
Hire. I always heard he wasn't a good development coach. I don't know why the Pistons that were developing players would want to hire someone that doesn't develop players. It's weird.
Yeah,
he didn't play Ivy at all, and that was, you got to see what you got in him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he was arguably going to be one of the best players from the draft. A lot of people haven't had him as the best potentially. So
yeah,
well, I guess not the best, but Wemby,
but I mean, people had him up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, he was 2 years ago. He wasn't in the Wemby draft.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, people had him up there.
Yeah, he fell to fifth. Yeah, they did.
So another big winner, I guess, the Knicks.
Oh yeah, I agreed.
Yeah.
Villanova. You see their alternate. Someone posted their city jerseys next year.
No,
it's just a Villanova basketball jersey.
I like it.
Hey, I guess build a winner through a great college team. It's working.
I wish more football teams did that. Like if I was a GM, I'd just be like, if I was stuck, I'd be like Alabama or Georgia player. All right, next.
Yeah, give me all of them. But I like the move though, getting him in there with it's not like Donovan Mitchell didn't make sense to me because he would need the ball too much. Take it from Brunson.
Yeah.
And him pairing with Brunson, he'll be able to feed off, play off the ball. He knows how to do that from playing at the Sun for Bridges. I like that move.
He's a perfect fit. Absolutely. The only thing I'm worried about, especially since they lost Hartenstein, is they're built to beat the Celtics or at least compete with the Celtics. But they're not really built to beat the Sixers or Giannis, which, I mean, no one can really beat Giannis. But it'll be interesting, or they're not, if they're in the West and they had to play against the Joker. It's can they win against size? Will they need to? I don't know.
Yeah, because Mitchell Robinson, is he going to stay healthy? Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I
playing.
don't think they were planning on losing Hardenstein. I mean, it seems like they probably thought he was coming back.
Yeah.
But you mentioned Giannis. Like, I think they're going to be out for blood next season, too, after how like the last 2 seasons have gone. And I was listening to some other podcasts about Dame didn't come in shape because he was worried about getting traded. So I think they're going to be killers. Them and the Grizzlies, I predict to be 1 seeds next year.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be
in their respective conferences.
I wonder what that parlay is.
I don't know. You'll have to find it down there in Costa Rica.
That has to be a ton, right? That has to be like
you'd think so. I mean, the Grizzlies,
500 to 1.
It's got to be pretty massive. I mean, the Grizzlies, no one expects them. Like I said, the Grizzlies disappeared.
I don't think it's going to happen, but everyone, if you throw $5 on Grizzlies and the Bucks to be the number 1 seeds in their conferences for the regular season. Do you have any other winners, losers?
I like the Magic. I mean, I know Pope is okay, but they needed a shooter. I was hoping Dalton Connect fell to them at 18 in the draft, but the Lakers swooped in and grabbed him. They need a shooter bad. I don't know if you watched much of that playoff series.
Yeah.
They had that series, but they just could not shoot the ball.
Yeah, that was another.
I like that trade. Yeah, I didn't want Klay to go there. I like the Magic a little bit. I didn't want him there.
I agree.
Only other loser is like the Cavs. I mean, they gave Mitchell that money, but what are you going to do with Darius Garland? They don't seem to fit together.
I was hoping there was a Garland or a Mitchell trade to the Spurs that would one day develop, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Oh, Garland to the Spurs would be nice.
Yeah.
Because if someone could just throw an entry pass to Wemby, like I guess Chris Paul would be able to do that. Because last year, I don't know what the Spurs were doing, but
awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the Spurs, they're a decent-sized winner. They still can kind of tank, but they got
slow play it.
Yeah, they got Chris Paul, can be a great leader, could teach everyone.
Pete's Castle.
Yeah.
They traded their 8th pick out of the Wolves. They didn't get their 2 top.
No.
It was Dillingham. Yes, he went to the Wolves. The Wolves should be stacked next year too, though.
Yeah, I like the Wolves. Wolves have done enough. The Spurs, like Castle, was arguably going to be the best player in that draft, so that's kind of interesting for the Spurs. Lucky they got him. Dillingham, though, I've heard that he's terrible on defense, but he's just a juggernaut on offense. So, I mean, he could have been a nice fit for the Spurs, considering Wemby takes up a third of the court.
He didn't learn to play defense at that Dada High School. He went to Kanye West High School. Shocking. Interesting choice.
Yeah, that's true.
But I guess he could easily drop a lot of points. A 50-point game next year, maybe.
Yeah. The Clippers, giant loser. But I guess they're just Clippers.
Yeah.
So there is always
They're always, yeah. Kind of weird they gave all that money to Kawhi but didn't give it to Paul.
Yeah. I wish Kawhi could go somewhere. Like Kawhi to the Warriors and he just stays healthy for a year somehow. I mean,
yeah. I don't think he didn't like he had that drive anymore.
Yeah. I mean, he is.
It will be interesting. Their new stadium next year, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be cool to see if that brings a better atmosphere to their games and maybe hypes players up.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Kawhi has just had so many damn injuries. You feel bad, but he was finally playing a bunch of games. Kawhi for Wiggins. Does anyone balk at this trade?
Oh, the Clippers say no instantly.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, just Kawhi's always
Kawhi's too much upside. I know, but Wiggins is not hurt and doesn't play good.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Try to see whatever the Mavs we kind of talked about. I just they don't have enough defense. I mean, sure, Klay in the corner, but he's kind of spent on defense, and the other two don't play defense. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, is PJ going to take any other kind of step? I don't know. The Mavericks, I think they just got extremely lucky last season to make it all the way to the finals. It all broke their favor. The Wolves weren't ready, but the rules were big enough to beat the Nuggets. I was sad we didn't get a Nuggets Celtic finals. That would have been amazing. But
even like a Timberwolves Celtics finals, I would have rather had. But.
Yeah, I agree. They would have definitely not been ready for that moment. They weren't ready for the Mavs, but they would have been probably better than the Mavs.
But then they knocked
Luka didn't seem healthy.
Yeah, they knocked out Denver at Game 7, so that was at least legit.
Yeah.
Speaking of teams that will knock out the Warriors and the Lakers, is the Pelicans. That's an
yeah.
with DeJounte Murray.
Yeah, I agree. That is, I mean, him and Trae Young were working. I've always liked DeJounte Murray, but him with Trae just wasn't working. The Hawks are just going to commit to Trae, though, because he'll sell tickets.
That's what I'm wondering.
So I guess you had to move on to DeJounte.
Yeah.
But I just expect the Pelicans to flame out every year.
Yeah, I agree.
But, I mean, look at the play-in teams last year with Lakers, Pelicans, Kings, and Warriors. I don't think the Kings will be up there anymore.
The Kings had such a high trajectory. Like, they were going to be the next best team, 2 years ago? Like, 2
years ago.
Like, they were the Timberwolves or Oklahoma City 2 years ago, you know?
Yeah. It went quick for them.
What happened? I mean, the same players are still there.
People adjust to them. They played fast. I don't know if people just adjusted to the fast. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sabonis, I don't know. Not big enough to bang all the time with everybody.
Yeah. Huh. Oh, another gigantic loser. I forgot my notes. The Toronto Raptors. What has happened? They were never really that much. I used to be a big because I'm Canadian. I was a huge Raptors fan in the Vince Carter era. Loved it. And then they just did a bunch of terrible things. Like they drafted Rafael Araujo.
What do you mean? They won a championship. They didn't do that much terrible stuff.
The luckiest championship of all time, I would say, right?
Yeah, probably with KD tearing his Achilles. But
yeah,
they won.
They did win somehow. But yeah, now they paid Scotty Barnes and Emmanuel Quickley like a combined. What is it?
Yeah, that was interesting. Signing Quickley to that deal.
Quickley
Barnes was the max, like 200 something.
Yeah, Barnes is 270 and Quickley is 175. So that's like, I'm not a math guy, but that's a fucking lot of money for two just regular players.
I know. Emmanuel Quickley was like out of the rotation in New York a lot of times.
Yeah, the Raptors are like
I think
and we got like our allowance and we just spent it all on candy because like it was we had to use it all at once. The Raptors on our
What's the GM?
I forget his name.
What's the GM's name? Ujiri or something like that? He's playing with house money, man. He brought a championship to Toronto. He's like, whatever.
Yeah, not good.
Toronto's gonna be gone for a while. Scotty Barnes, I mean, they'll be down there in Washington hanging out and Detroit and who else? Portland, just not being great for a while.
Yeah. I got another winner. Actually, it just popped in my head.
Let me hear.
Raptors. Speaking of Canada, a winner is Anthony Bennett because there was a chance this year he might not be the worst bust in the history of the NBA draft. You know, Risache could be just as terrible. So we can hope.
I agree, but that's gonna be tough for anyone to take Bennett's crown. That was gone in a blink of an eye.
It really was. That really was.
So, do you ever go back on Wikipedia and look at the old drafts, just look at where players ended up and how off were great the draft? That's my favorite thing to do.
That is the best thing, especially in football too. It's so good.
But I think that draft, the best player was Giannis.
Oh wow, we got Anthony.
And everyone thought he was going to be anything. Yeah. Fair.
He signed to the Hisinko Jaco Lioneers. I don't know. He's playing in Japan, Korea. He's playing not even China or Japan. He's playing in Korea. Oh, never mind. 2023 he joined. 2 weeks later, he left the team.
Okay.
Oh, I guess he doesn't play basketball anymore.
Yeah.
Huh.
I want to see what he looks like now.
Yeah, he could be like blown up a little bit in the weight.
Yeah, like 400 pounds.
He said that apparently in 2023 he's expecting to find a new team in Taiwan. I will defend Anthony Bennett. It wasn't his fault that he was a bust because it was the worst pick ever. He was at the highest of high. He was going to be like the 8th pick. Everyone had him like 12th, 13th. Some had him 8th or 7th. Like he was not going higher than that. So I felt
he would have flamed out regardless, but it makes it worse being the first overall draft pick.
I think if he wasn't like the number one pick to lead a terrible team, he'd be all right. If he was just like a role player, he would have flamed out.
He definitely Kwame Brown's favorite player. So
yeah, Kwame Brown. Who are the worst draft pick? Number one, is it Bennett, Kwame Brown?
Michael Olowokandi up there.
Yeah.
I think those are my top 3. Bennett, Brown, and Olowokandi.
when I search Anthony Bennett, people also search for Kwame Brown, Hasheem Thabit, Greg Oden,
Hasheem Thabit,
Michael Olowokandi. Wow, you really nailed this. Markelle Fultz, Nerlens Noel,
yeah,
Andrea
he's still free agent.
Bargnani. So,
I forgot about Nerlens Noel. Andre Bargnani's pretty awful too.
but this
Noel
is
was a solid role player.
Yeah. It's funny, like, all I did was search Anthony Bennett, and I was just like, hey, let me just throw shade at everyone. Google is like, who can I throw under the bus? Darko Milicic is in there.
He was second, though. Him and Thabit were second.
Yeah. LaRue Martin, I don't know who that is. He looks old, like in the 70s.
What draft was he? 70? There was some guy, I think, in the 87 or 88 draft that was pretty bad. I don't remember his name.
First overall out of Loyola University Chicago. This could be him. To the Trailblazers. He was 6'11". He was 1972. Maybe you nailed that. That could be who you're talking about.
I think Purvis Elson.
Yes,
no, we're talking about Purvis Elson. He played 89 draft.
Okay, well, LaRue
I think he was pretty awful. Greg Oden with his injuries.
Yeah. Another person I like that is not good is Jabari Parker, only because all my American friends, including you, would say Jabari Parker's better than Andrew Wiggins, blah, 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 blah. So we put that to bed.
Injuries.
Yeah, and he's always just been trash. This is funny, all these people who just get compared to Shabazz Muhammad.
Yeah. Dude, he's supposed to be great.
Yeah.
He went to UCLA, I think, for a year.
I wonder who else you can just Google and then people just get strays off this thing.
Like if go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, like Bill Cosby in here. Like, what happens? Who comes up?
Don't Google Bill Cosby.
Yeah, no. Also have a knock at my door.
Yeah.
All right. Well, is there any others? I think we covered a lot of the main people, right?
Yeah, I would say so. There's still some guys sitting out there. We'll see where they end up.
Mm-hmm.
Markelle Fultz being one of those guys.
Yeah. Great. Well, we'll do a ranking the teams. I think we should do an NBA ranking the teams as well as best bets, like for maybe conferences, divisions, MVPs, futures. I guess a futures podcast. And the Olympics. We got to do the Olympics. I don't want to share my thoughts on that too much, but yeah. Is Pulisic the most overrated soccer player in the world?
No, you see dominate over AC Milan this year?
Yeah.
I think your boy's the most – your boy doesn't do anything playing for Bayern Munich.
Real Madrid wants him.
Davies. I don't know why. To do nothing?
To be lockdown defender, fastest player on earth, he's incredible. Pulisic
is he?
Is good against Bolivia, and he's good against mediocre teams and Serie A, where good players go to die, like Lukaku and Giroud is leading goals and assists over in Serie A.
Giroud's don't get off Giroud. He's amazing.
But he's old now.
Yeah.
He's going to the MLS. Like, all right, if Pulisic wants to be good in the MLS, go light your pants on fire, fill your boots. But
get off Pulisic. He's Captain America.
I think he's overrated, but
of course he does.
He could do anything at Chelsea. He had
when he got playing time, he did. But
that's because he missed sitters.
No, that coach did not like him. Because
he used to
be at PSG. All right, we'll see. Well, I guess we'll wait till the World Cup.
Or now, where he just costs you. He completed 13 out of 25 passes. He over dribbles. He wants to be a hero. He plays so much hero ball, which is fine. You can do that against Bolivia. You can do that in Serie A, but you can't do that against
the top. Yeah.
Canada's the same way. We can do a soccer podcast later, but I feel like watching the Euros and then watching Canada and the USA play, it's like watching beer league versus like professionals.
It's different. It's different. Euros and Copa though are the big difference.
Yeah, like just European, especially the good teams, like they move the ball and the ball is doing all the work, where Americans and Canadians like dribble so much comparatively. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely different.
Yeah. All right, Trae. Well, we'll have another little podcast this week. Thanks for joining, everyone.
For sure, man.
New website is coming for sports and nonsense. We've got this podcast and travelinspiredtoby.com. I'm Fraser LeVay.
I'm Trae Holthouse, and I hope Venezuela destroys Canada.